You don't wake up thinking you're controlled. You don't think your life decisions, where you live, what you buy, how you work, are being shaped by invisible forces. You believe you're in charge. You believe your choices are yours. But what if the biggest decisions in your life weren't decisions at all, but calculations made decades ago by powerful financial systems designed to operate silently? What if debt, your debt, my debt, everyone's debt, isn't a mistake or a mismanagement issue, but a quiet machine engineered to influence your behavior, restrict your options, and keep you locked into economic cycles that benefit someone else entirely? And the wildest part? Most people never notice it happening. Today, we're exposing the silent debt engines. Systems built to extract value from your future before you even reach it and control your present without you ever feeling the strings. Stay with me, because once you understand how these engines operate, you'll look at every loan, every payment, every financial opportunity with an entirely different lens.
To understand silent debt engines, you first need to understand a simple truth. Debt isn't just money you owe. Debt is a control mechanism. For centuries, debt was a tool used mostly among the wealthy and powerful, nations, merchants, and empires. But in the mid-20th century, something changed. Debt became democratized, not because it was good for people, but because it was extremely profitable for those offering it. The institutions running the system did something brilliant and dangerous. They rewired society so that debt became a normal part of life, an expectation, a rite of passage. Debt for education, debt for housing, debt for transportation, debt for emergencies, debt for consumption, and eventually debt just to survive. But here's the twist most people don't see. Once the system normalized debt, it no longer needed to tell you what to do. It could make you do it automatically. And this is where the story really begins.
The origins of modern debt engines can be traced back to the post-World War II economic boom. Before the 1940s and 50s, few people had credit. Loans were short-term and small. Banks played a limited role in consumer life. But after the war, governments and corporations saw a massive opportunity. If people could be encouraged to borrow, the entire economy could be expanded artificially. This was the beginning of planned consumer debt. 1. The 1940s and 50s, the installment plan revolution. Appliances, furniture, cars, suddenly everything could be bought on payment plans. Marketers called it financial convenience, but behind the scenes, economists called it something else: a predictable revenue pipeline. Once households got used to owing, they also got used to paying. Debt became woven into everyday life. 2. The 1960s, credit cards appeared. The creation of the modern credit card wasn't an invention. It was a strategy. Credit cards did something extraordinary. They separated the moment of pleasure from the moment of pain. You could buy today and worry later. This wasn't an accident. It was psychological design. And it worked. Banks realized something powerful. People spent more when they didn't feel the cost immediately. And the silent debt engine was born.
Debt wasn't just a financial tool anymore. It was a behavioral architecture. 1. The 1980s, deregulation and the debt explosion. Interest caps were relaxed. Banks were allowed to charge more. New forms of credit were created. The silent debt engine evolved. Adjustable rate mortgages, long-term auto loans, massive student loans, revolving credit cards, payday loans, HELOCs, refinancing traps. The system didn't just offer more debt, it made debt harder to escape. The 2 is the psychological engineering of minimum payments. Minimum payments weren't designed to help consumers. They were engineered to create long-term high-interest dependency. The data was clear. Lower minimum payments equals longer-term high debt. Higher long-term debt equals more interest. More interest equals exponential bank profits. Debt was no longer a reaction to financial need. It became a predictable outcome of the system. The engine was running, and people barely noticed its hum.
By early 2000s, debt was no longer just a part of life. It was reshaping life itself. 1. The rise of lifestyle inflation. Credit made it easy to live beyond your means. Social pressure made it feel necessary. The silent debt engine thrived on aspiration, comparison, convenience, and impatience. The system knew that people wouldn't buy what they needed, they would buy what they felt they deserved. 2. Housing became a debt trap. Mortgage lengths increased, rates fluctuated, prices soared. Housing, once a financial foundation, had become a long-term revenue mechanism for lenders. 3. Student loans became inevitable. Education transformed from opportunity to obligation. The silent debt engine saw another profitable frontier. Every young adult becomes a debtor before earning their first salary. This wasn't failure, it was design.
Debt has a psychological effect few people acknowledge. It reduces freedom. When you have monthly payments, your life must be shaped around them. You stay in jobs you hate, you avoid risks, you delay dreams, you make safer, less profitable decisions. You prioritize stability over growth. Debt doesn't have to actively control you. It just has to limit your choices. And that's exactly what silent debt engines do. They don't need to push you. They only need to restrict you until you push yourself. And that's why many people can't move, can't quit, can't switch careers, can't build businesses, can't take time off. Debt quietly dictates the boundaries of their life, and most never realize they're operating inside a cage.
Every time the system offers a fix, it often makes the engine stronger. 1. Loan consolidation programs, marketed as relief, engineered to extend payment duration. 2. Lower minimum payments, marketed as flexibility, engineered to triple interest paid. 3. Refinancing, marketed as savings, engineered to reset your debt cycle. 4. Student loan relief plans, marketed as support, engineered into decades-long commitments. 5. BNPL, buy now, pay later, marketed as convenience, engineered to normalize microdebt. The silent debt engine doesn't evolve by eliminating debt, it evolves by extending it. Every solution broadens the funnel.
Debt has become invisible, automated, and algorithmically enforced. 1. Subscription debt. You don't sign contracts, you sign habits. 2. Algorithmic spending nudges. Apps push you towards micro purchases. Every tap adds up. 3. Dynamic pricing. Prices rise based on your income, location, and behavior. Debt is built into the cost of modern living. 4. Inflation versus stagnant wages. You earn the same, everything else costs more. The engine doesn't need to raise your debt, it just needs to shrink your purchasing power. 5. Financial apps that encourage overspending. Gamification, rewards, instant approvals. Behavioral psychology meets economic extraction. These are not coincidences, they are modern calibrations. The engine is more silent and more powerful than ever.
3 clear takeaways. 1. Debt is not a personal flaw, it's a manufactured environment. The system rewards indebted citizens, not financially free ones. 2. Silent debt engines rely on invisibility. They work best when you blame yourself rather than recognizing the structure. 3. Escaping the system requires awareness first, strategy second. You can't fight what you can't see. Understanding the engine breaks half its control.
Debt systems are becoming more automated. Within the next decade, AI will approve your loans, algorithms will set your credit limits, pricing will adjust to your income, and default spending patterns will be predicted and exploited. If you don't take control now, the system will tighten around you silently.
If you want to understand these systems, protect your income, and break free from the invisible mechanics shaping your financial life, subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay with this channel.